So first of all, thank you everyone for joining, and I hope you love the song as I did. So if you are not able to see me, I was dancing in the background, and I don't wanted to show you how bad I dance. So really sorry for that, but we can of course meet sometime and we will dance on this song. So okay. So just to introduce myself, my name is Santosh Yadav, and I'm a Google developer expert for Angular and web technologies. I also love writing, so I'll love a lot. Write a lot, and generally write for one of the publications which you might have heard about called Angular in Depth. And Angular in Depth, we are actually migrating to one of the community website called indepth.dev. So you can read a new blog post from Angular in Depth on indepth.dev. And also we are looking for writers. So in case you think you can write in-depth article on Angular in Depth, or Angular, JavaScript, RxJS, any topic, feel free to connect with me, and I'll just let you know if you can publish it. Apart from it, I have published few packages on npm packages. Recently, the Angular team lead, Igor Minar, so he actually gave a talk at ngconf, and he introduced one of the npm package called Source Map Explorer. So I thought of like creating another builder, so you don't have to do any setup manually. So I created this package called ngx builder / analyze. It's just few weeks old. So in case you want to run source map analyzer, source map explorer for your Angular application and see the bundle size, and you want to optimize it, go ahead and install this builder. You don't have to do any manual configuration, and then you can just do ng your ng run your package name colon your project name colon analyze, and that's it. That's how you can run the analyzer for your project. So apart from, my social media handles are available here. You can reach out to me on Twitter at santosh.santosh.yadavdev. You can also refer my GitHub profile. I have a few open source projects available, and I keep coding a lot. So you can see a lot of commits on GitHub. And in case you are on LinkedIn and you want to connect with me, you can just refer to the LinkedIn URL as well. So let's go ahead and talk about builders, right? So before going into in depth about builders, I love to talk about history. Why we needed an builder, why we needed an Angular builder API. So I'm sure there are many developers who might have worked on Angular from Angular 4, 5, and then you progress till Angular 8 and 9. And I'm sure few people who are still using Angular 4 and 5 due to some circumstances, but you might have seen this line of codes in your .angular-cli.json file. We had E2E, we had lint, we had test. But a lot of developers were confused, where is ng-build and ng-serve, because it was not available here. So that was a problem. That was a big problem, because maybe we may need to overwrite some build step, or maybe serves. We may want to include few more files into my build process. So that was a problem. And in Angular 4 and 5, every configuration was referring to some files, right? So in case if I want to update my workspace in future, Angular team has to actually go ahead and rewrite the JSON file or JS file, which was, of course, not a good thing to do, because you may have written some code and Angular may unintentionally rewrite your code. So they don't want to do it. So what we've already went through some issues. So it's like overriding your Webpack configuration, building and publishing Angular libraries. In case you have published Angular libraries in Angular 4 and 5, you may be aware you have to include ng packager, then write some code, some configuration. So that was actually not a good thing to do, and Angular don't want you to do that. So, and apart from that, there are tools like Jest or Cypress, which you have to actually manually configure in your workspace. So these are some problems which we had during those days. And there was a solution, of course, but that solution was ng-eject. So it was not, I would say it was never a solution. It was just an workaround. So what happened? So with ng-eject, we used to get a lot of a big file, right? 600 lines of code. And every new developer who used to see that file, okay, what's this now? So what they did, what Angular devs did, they started writing their own custom config, right? So they started looking somewhere else, and they just were like, okay, we cannot use Angular CLI because we got something new. It's like writing your own configuration. But was that a solution? No, that was not a solution. And Angular CLI team wants you to use Angular CLI. Then they said, okay, please don't leave us. We will change, and you can go ahead and do some stuffs. Just wait for some time. So what they did, they came up with a solution called Builders API, right? So what's Builder API? If you open an Angular 6 project, so I was, when I was working on Angular 6, I was a little bit excited. Once I opened the angular.json file, I figured out, okay, now there is a serve and build options which are available in my angular.json. And there is something called builder. What's this? So I was like, okay, I think we have a bright future now with Angular CLI. And then I saw this builder and I was like, okay, it means something. So there were a few developers who used to connect with me and say, okay, Santosh, this is a problem that we are using a big Webpack file and we don't understand a thing. I was like, dude, even I don't understand a thing inside a Webpack file. So the question was how we can change it. How can we just use CLI? Because we need to override some configuration, and CLI does not allow us. So I was like, okay, I don't have any answers right now. But once I saw this in Angular 6, I was like, okay, now we have some solution. So, and then after a few months, I came to know about some builders which are written by the community. So I'll introduce those builders to you, but let's see the configurations which were available. So for serve, there was an builder called Build Angular Dev Server. Similarly, for build, we had something called Build Angular Browser. And similarly, for this was for libraries. Libraries just needed small builder because small configurations. So you can see options. Options are nothing but the configurations which you can pass to your builder, and it will be part of your build process, right? So you can just give a path to your folder. You can include some parameters. For example, if I want to just create another index.html or include some text into index.html. So what you can do is you can pass all those via options. Amazing thing, right? So you don't have to write everything by your own. Then for test also, we got this builder called Build Angular Karma. And then I was excited because now I can go ahead and use Jest and Cypress because I just need to replace the builder. But who will write that builder, right? So of course, we'll come back to that. Similarly, for E2E, we have Protector. And so the answer to all this is custom builders. In case I want to override, right? I want to use Jest, not Jasmine or Karma. I want to use Jest, and similarly for let's say Protector, I want to use Cypress. So there are many custom builders which are available, and we'll see the API first. So what your custom builder contains? So there is a function. It's really a small function called create builder, which takes some parameters. Of course, we will write our own custom builder in some time. So it takes some parameter and it executes it. So if you have written index.ts file or index.js file, you know how it works. You say just create an index.ts file, and then either using Node.js terminal, you can just go ahead and first compile it, and then you can say node index.js, and it runs your file. Similarly, now here you can write an index.ts file, which will be executed by your Angular CLI command, right? So you just write a command, and your index.ts file will be executed. So this was first create builder function. Then it takes builder options. You'll see that it also needs a file called builders.json. So what you define in builders.json? So you say, okay, there is a custom builder name. It is nothing but your command name. For example, if I want to create a new command, right, as I've already shown you, or as Diego explained, he has written a builder called npm ngx deploy for npm. Similarly, there are a few more builders available. For example, Johannes has written one for GitHub Pages. I have written one for Netlify, and there are a few more community members who has written for AWS, right? So the builder
there's a
name,
deploy starter, right?
Yeah, that is also, it's coming soon. Okay, so the builder name is nothing but your command name, right? So you can just say, okay, this will be my command, which I will execute. For example, in the library which I have shown you earlier, it contains analyze. So that was the command name. So custom builder name. And then you have to include, this is really important in case you miss this, your builders will not run. So in package.json, you have to make an entry, and you have to say, okay, against these builders, you include this builders.json file. So right now I'm saying // because I'm considering that this builders.json exists in my root directory, right? So if it's inside any other directory, you have to change the path. So just be aware of it. Then how to use builder? Let's say we have created one builder. Now how to use it? So you have to specify some configuration. So this is the configuration. You have to go into your angular.json file. you will say, okay, this custom builder name is nothing but the command name which you created, right? So as I said, analyze. So this will be analyze. Then builder is nothing but your package name with your custom builder name. So if you are saying my package name is, let's say, ngx GitHub deploy colon, what's the builder name? So it can be deploy. So that's deploy. And then options are some options which you may want to override. So this is how you can actually add it into your project. And good thing is, in case you are using ng deploy, Johannes was like visionary, so he added some ng add schematics, and no one has to do it. So and then once it is installed, you can just say ng run app name and your builder name. So it's like ng run app name. For example, I'm saying Angular demo colon analyze. So that's how it runs. So I love writing code. So let's go ahead and write the code. So I'll just open my VS Code. Hope everyone can see this. I have just downloaded this small project from GitHub, and it's not the ngx deploy pack starter, but I'm using the another one. So here, yeah, let me just show you. You can do a lot of things. You can also override some build process. For example, if I want to override the build process, the default build process using my command, I can go ahead and do that. So let's see how to do it. So first thing which we will do is we will go ahead and include few references. So first I will say, okay, this context gives you access to the internal APIs. So here I'm going to use the first one, which says report progress. So I'll say, okay, not report progress, sorry. It is, I'll use the logger one. So let's say I want to log something that this builder has started. So I'll say, okay, this is context.logger.info. And I will say, okay, the build is starting, right? So I'm saying, okay, the build is starting, and then I want to override the build. So how I will do that? So I'll just say const build equals to, I will use async await. So I'll say await context, and it gives you access to one of the APIs, which is called as scheduled target. Okay. And here I can pass some parameter. So target is the name of any existing command. So I can say, okay, I want to override the build command. So I would say, okay, build. Then I would say for which project I want to run it. So context also gives you the access to the build, so to the project. So I'll say, okay, context.target.project, right? So I have the access, and it contains undefined. So I have to just say, or in case there is no project, you can also write some steps to verify if the project does not exist. You can throw an error. That is also possible. And then you have to pass configuration. So I'll say, okay, the configuration, let's use production right now. You can always pass something else. For example, let's say with the default build process, I want to build something else, right? So I can just go ahead and add that as well. Once this is done, I will wait for the result equals to, I'll say, okay, give me, this is again here, the earlier code will return something, few more parameters. So one of them is called result. Okay, so I can say, okay, it gives you info, it gives you output, it gives you progress and result. So I'm going to use result, but result is again a promise. So I have to use await to get the result. And now I will define, I'll say, okay, if result dot success, I want to return. So you have to also return something known as of type builder output. So in builder output, what you can return is, there are a few parameters. So you can say, okay, what is the success? It is true or false. So I'll say true. You can also pass error. You can also pass info. You can also pass or target. What was the target for which you actually ran this command, right? So here I'm just saying, okay, I just need to return success true, and that's it. And then if it's not scenario, I would say return success false, right? So this is it. I mean, I have just overwritten the build process. And builder config is something which we saw, right? There was options properties. So anything which I pass inside options, it will be available here. Right now, I'm not using the schema.json file. You can also use schema.json file to restrict the user input. I mean, the options, right? So you can validate those options if they are passed or not. So let's write a logger for that as well, context.logger.info, in case I want to pass something. So right now I'm saying this is type of this option. The preferred is schema.json. I will show you the starter project where it is already available. And I'll say, okay, just print the command, right? So I'll say builder config.command. So this is the command which we can pass as a parameter. So done. So we have just written just written a builder to override our build process. Let's build it. So I'll just go to this command builder folder, and I will say npm run build, and it does nothing. It just runs the TSC behind the scenes, and all the files are converted to JS. So this is done. Now I have to create an Angular project and I have to use it. So you can run npm link in case you want to test it. I have already created an Angular CLI project, so I'll just use it, builder usage demo. And this is the code part, and just let me show you the package configuration. So here I'm just giving my package name as ng Heidelberg, so which is my package name, and my command name, which is defined in builders.json. Let's change it to awesome, because ng Heidelberg is awesome. So I'll say, okay, this is awesome. And you can see there are a few properties called implementation, which is referring to my command folder and index.ts file or index.js file once compiled. And I can also include schema.json, which I've not included here. But this is it. Now I can go ahead and use the same package in my project. So let's say how to do that. So I can just say npm link. In case I want to test it locally, right? Because we are seeing how to create our own command. We are not seeing how to download and use it. That's something not the purpose of this talk. You should be able to create your own builder after this talk. And then I have already added the configuration in angular.json. You can see I've added command, which was awesome. Then I added my package name, which is ng Heidelberg, and then colon, the command name again, awesome. And then command, I'm just saying, okay, whatever I want to pass, I'll say, okay, this is awesome as well. And now I can run ng run my project name. So I'll just take the builder uses demo and my command name. Right. And now you will see your build is starting. This awesome is your command name, and now it will start the build. So this is the same thing which you can see after you do ng build, right? So now your build is starting. It will execute few files, and once it is completed, it will just come out of the console, and that's it. Your build is completed. You have just overwritten your build process. So this is how you can write your own custom builder. And of course, in case you have any question, you can just connect to me on any social media account, and we'll discuss more about it. But how to find all those builders, right? So there are few custom builders, which are already written, and you don't have to reinvent everything. So one of the custom builder which is available to override the Webpack is Angular Builders custom Webpack browser. So it is written by one of the community member called Jeb. So he has written few more. In case you want to change the server configuration, Webpack server configuration, you can go ahead and do that. Similarly for Karma, Nginx Build Plus, Angular Fire Deploy was first package which was created by the Angular CLI team, and Minko was part of it. And then we ended up writing few more builders, which I will show you. So just before going ahead and doing that, I'll show you a website called angularbuilders.dev. So you can just refer to angular-builders.dev, and you can go ahead and look for all the builders which are already available from the community. There is a reference section where you can refer some blogs, and also it contains the link to the official page, official angular.io page. So one of the widest use case, right? So was ng-deploy when it was created. So ng-deploy was as a command came into Angular 8.3.0, and then all these manual configuration was removed. You don't have to do ng run your project name colon deploy. So Angular team decided to make it a command in CLI. What you have to do is you have to configure any of the existing builder, which is any of this image which is given, Angular Fire, we have Azure ng-deploy, we have ZDIT, and then Angular CLI pages, Angular Netlify builder, Nginx deploy, and we also now have AWS deploy as well. So you can just say ng add any of this builder, and then you can run ng deploy. So ng add will add all the configurations which is required, and so you don't have to do any manual stuff. And this is what Angular CLI focuses on. You don't have to do any manual things. And then you can run ng deploy, and it will deploy your application on the choice of your hosting provider, right? So you can just go ahead and deploy. In case you want to write your own custom deploy builder, of course, go ahead and refer to this project called Angular Shell, NGX Deploy Starter, written by one of the awesome guys I know, and awesome GD called Johannes Opp, and he's the organizer for this meetup. So this is also available, and I think I am done. So thank you. In case you have any question, you can ask. We have a lot of time today, and you can also connect with me on Twitter, GitHub, or just go to my portfolio page, santoshiyadav.dev, but it's not updated. So in case you find some old information, just be aware that it's not updated anymore. You can feel free to connect me on any other social media platforms. So yeah, that's it. I think we wrapped up very early.